State of New California notice to all Californians, grievance number 55. It is February 12, 2019. We are in Vista, California at the county courthouse. New California is a new state in development exercising its constitutional right to form from the state of California. The process to form New California is authorized and codified in Article 4, Sections 3 and 4 of the United States Constitution. Statement of intent. Citizens of New California have decided to remedy the abuse of power by the government of California by exercising their right to form a new state provided in the United States Constitution, Article 4, Sections 3 and 4. We are determined to live under a state government in the United States of America and under the Constitution of the United States. New California Declaration of Independence, January 15, 2018, states, whenever any form of government becomes destructive, it is the right of the people to alter or to abolish it and to institute new government. When a long train of abuses and acts to seize and hold the people's power without legal authority and pursuing invariably the same object that clearly demonstrates a design to reduce them under absolute despotism, it is their right, it is their duty to throw off such government and to provide new guards for their future security. Preamble of the New California State Constitution states, we, the representatives of the undersigned counties within the state of California, do acknowledge and humbly invoke the favor of Almighty God for continued civil and religious liberty to ourselves and our posterity. First Amendment of the United States Constitution states, Congress shall make no law respecting an establishment of religion or prohibiting the free exercise thereof or abridging the freedom of speech or of the press or the right of the people peaceably to assemble and to petition the government for a redress of grievances. The counties of New California bring forward 95 grievances to be announced in public on Tuesdays at 11 a.m. State of New California Grievance 55, Declaration of Grievance, Statement of Facts. The people of California are suffering from a tyrannical state government which fails to provide a Republican form of governance, enables and supports across its southern border the invasion of the United States of America by illegal foreign nationals, and protects vicious criminals who commit outrageous acts of violence upon the citizens of America, all caused by a government of and for a monoparty system led by a tyrannical dictator who openly defies federal law. California state government is in direct violation of the following. United States Constitution, Article 4, Section 4. The United States shall guarantee to every state in this union a Republican form of government, and shall protect each of them against invasion, and on application of the legislature or of the executive when the legislature cannot be convened, against domestic violence. United States Constitution, Article 6, Section 2. This Constitution and the laws of the United States which shall be made in pursuance thereof, and all treaties made or which shall be made under the authority of the United States, shall be the supreme law of the land, and the judges in every state shall be bound thereby. Anything in the Constitution or laws of any state to the contrary notwithstanding. New California State Joint Resolution number 19-02. Resolution of the Declaration of the New California State, Article 4, Section 4, Freedom from Invasion. Whereas the people of California are suffering from a tyrannical state government which fails to provide a Republican form of governance, enables and supports across its southern border the invasion of the United States of America by illegal foreign nationals, and protects vicious criminals who commit outrageous acts of violence upon the citizens of America, all caused by a government of and for a monoparty system led by a tyrannical dictator, and whereas California state government is in direct violation of the United States Constitution, Article 4, Section 4, and Article 6, Section 2. Whereas Article 4, Section 4 of the United States Constitution states, the United States shall guarantee to every state in this union a Republican form of government, and shall protect each of them against invasion, and on application of the legislature or of the executive when the legislature cannot be convened, against domestic violence. And whereas Article 6, Section 2 of the United States Constitution states, "This Constitution and the laws of the United States shall be made in pursuance thereof, and all treaties made, or which shall be made, under the authority of the United States, shall be the supreme law of the land, and the judges in every state shall be bound thereby, anything in the Constitution or laws of any state to the contrary notwithstanding." And whereas the government of California, the current governor, and the monoparty system, along with local officials, are following a coordinated design with the intent to actively engage in acts of insurrection against the United States Constitution. Whereas the tyrannical California government and the current tyrannical governor have fostered, supported, legislated, enacted, and enforced unconstitutional laws and regulations in direct violation of Article 6, Section 2, known as the Supremacy Clause. And whereas the governor, monoparty government, and associates at the county and city levels are engaging in mass citizenship outlawing, thus denying U.S. citizens their constitutional rights under Article 4, Section 4, and Article 6, Section 2 of the U.S. Constitution. And whereas the tyrannical California government and current tyrannical governor have created sanctuary cities in open defiance of federal law, Article 6, Section 2, and the Supremacy Clause. And whereas in 2017, California spent $27 billion on illegal foreign nationals who came into the United States, were granted rights and privileges reserved for American citizens, resulting in excessive taxation and massive voter fraud. And whereas now, like the historical tyrannical governments of the world, the California Republic seeks to remove the right of its citizens to defend these principles both in speech and action. And whereas the California Republic has abandoned the idea of one man, one vote, and is the national leader in encouraging and financing the illegal foreign national invasion of the southern border of California. Whereas the California Republic operates with direct hostility to the Whig ideals of liberty that once made California the greatest state in the Union. And whereas the California Republic now actively works against the principles of liberty through its departments, in its schools, and in arbitrary selective enforcement of laws. And whereas the California public, through its officers, is specifically importing foreigners to dilute the influence of citizens and destroy the culture of the once proud Bear Flag Republic, and holds in direct contempt its citizens who still hold to the ideas of liberty. And whereas the California Republic has violated the terms of joining the federal Whig Republic and abandoned the form of government that was a condition for it to enter the federal union. And whereas the California Republic now is openly hostile to the idea of government of, by, and for the people in its repeated attempts to disenfranchise citizens and destroy both the state and federal republic through foreign influence. And whereas the California Republic's hostility to its own citizens now endangers its own citizens and the stability of society itself morally, spiritually, physically, and economically, which contradicts the very nature of forming a society for the mutual good in the first place. And whereas the California Republic has abandoned the laws of nature and nature's God upon which that republic and the federal republic are founded. And whereas the actions of the California Republic contradict the tenets of both the original formation of the Bear Flag Republic and its eventual joining of the Federal Republic under many of the same auspices. And whereas Article 4, Section 4 of the United States Constitution guarantees each member state that the federal government shall protect each of them against invasion to protect the federal union, and therefore the federal government has further reneged on this obligation. And whereas the citizens of the California Republic are now forced to live under occupation by a government not of our choosing in violation of the ideals of both the Bear Flag Republic and the Whig Republic of the Federal Union, constituting what is nothing less than treason, insurrection, and a state undeclared war against the citizens of California of the United States of America. Whereas the citizens of California, in the tradition of the founders of the United States, seek to rejoin the United States and live under the tenets of liberty our fathers and grandfathers fought, bled, and died for. And these citizens who support the traditional liberties that are our birthright as Californians and Americans do seek a state of our own to be known as New California State. And whereas we, as the citizens of New California State, pray the President of these United States of America exercise his authority under the Insurrection Act of 1807 to end the tyranny being foisted upon United States citizens living in California. Now, therefore, be it resolved, we, as the citizens of New California State, having observed the takeover and corruption of our once proud republic, give a clarion warning to the other states of the Union that the old California Republic has been the experimental laboratory which the enemies of liberty seek to export to other states for the destruction of the republican forms of government they hate. Insurrection. The government of California, the current governor, and the monoparty system, along with local officials, are following a coordinated design with the intent to actively engage in acts of insurrection against the U.S. Constitution. The Insurrection Act of 1807 is a United States federal law that governs the ability of the President of the United States to deploy military troops within the United States to put down lawlessness, insurrection, and rebellion. Acts of secession. Therefore, the California government, in conjunction with the communist state executive, instituted wherever the current communist governor has usurped power, has created a reign of terror on United States citizens living in California with the intent to secede from the United States of America and thus destroy the very union of states which secures our liberty and freedom. Abdication of authority. Betrayal by the sitting communist governor of California, the monoparty legislature, and the local elected officials is evidence of abdication of their responsibilities of authority and sovereignty over the state and the citizens of the United States living in California. Prayer. The citizens of New California State pray for the President to exercise his authority under the Insurrection Act of 1807 to end the tyranny being foisted upon the United States citizens living in California State. This concludes these proceedings. NewCaliforniaState.com is the website, and the phone number is 877-828-2753.